Fiend. Oh, oh fuck. Fiend. Wait, that's not the song I wanted. Perfect. Yellow. Wait, is my mic on? Wait, fuck, I can't tell when my mic is on. Why is it doing that? Ew. No. There we go. Yellow. Hello? Let me just everyone in Discord. Bow, 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 bow. One sec. Perfect. Hi, chat. Hello. Hi. Oh, yeah. Let me change that real quick. Perfect. Hi, chat. Good morning. Hi. Hello. What's up, BG Sebast? What's up, Sam Spam? What's up, Spamilton? What's up, Sam J? What's up, Salva? What's up, Mish? What's up, User is here? What's up, Mickey? Hello? Dude, there's like a late stream, isn't it? This is like a really late stream. We're playing Minecraft, though. We are playing Minecraft. Is that one... Let me slash hub. I can actually, late? This is normal? Yeah, but like... Wait, I didn't slash unnick. Let me slash unnick. And I can put my link in the chat. Bam. And then I go, bam. Actually, we'll wait. Hi, Djo. Hi, Djo. Djo, please notice me, Djo.
Hey.
Hi, Djo.
Hi.
Did you know I was addicted? I am still. I'm addicted to HOPLITE UHC.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, honestly,
Yo,
same.
you're dead to
Can
me.
you
You're
guys
dead to me, Dito. You're dead on my screen. You're dead on my screen.
God, dude.
Well, this is
You're
gonna be
dead
an
to
easy
me,
game.
Joe.
Idea. Andres, you
Yes.
Cypher, Civ game, and we team up on Azuf.
That's crazy.
How about
Hey, can you guys hear
me,
Hello,
myself, and I play this solo royale, and I win and kill you, kill Izuf and Cypher all together.
Wait, is
You're just not gonna
Andres?
kill me.
Here.
You're just not gonna-
Andres, I love
Me,
you.
you, and Azu.
Andres, I love
Snipe
you.
you.
I'm subscribed to you. I'm
Oh,
literally subscribed to
Yeah, I
you.
like
wait,
that. I like
wait,
that.
wait, wait.
I like that.
Moderator Cypher K, what did you just say? You're gonna what me? Wait a
No,
second.
I'll allow it. I allow it.
Wait, what? Okay. Bro is okay. I'm getting just stream sniped, I guess. I'm gonna get stream sniped. W. What's up, Vortex? Hi, Sandsheet. Hello. I get to watch for an hour. Nice. I am lighting this building here. Also, where is my zoom button at? Okay, I just don't have a zoom button, I guess. Oh, fuck. Iron. Nice. I got iron, though. Get the bucket. Fuck. That's not good. Okay, he got the bucket. He got the bucket. I gotta get out of here. What's up, Black Viper? Wait, who is that? Black Viper. Why do I not know your name? Why am I yo, who are you? First stream in 5 months? Wait, who are you, Black Viper? Who are you? Do I know you? What's up, Earth Jaguar? What's up, Star? How are you, Star? Dude, chat. Lots is coming, chat. Lots is coming. I can't say too much, but just know that I have like videos on videos. I have content on content ready to come. Andre, should I sub? Yes. Please sub to me. Please sub to me. Give me all your money. What the fuck, Djo? What the fuck? Yo, what the fuck? What's up, Simple? I broke 2 fingers in the span of 1 month. Wait, what? But how did you just break 2 fingers? Wait, what the fuck? Dude, chat, today? Oh, someone just died down there. I hit it wood, though. And I'm not even sure it's worth going down there for his head. Chat, do I go down there for his head or nah? Let me know. But just vibing. Wait, Simple, have you played HOPLITE? or no? It sucks that it was on the same hat. Oh, what's up, Confettos? What's up? What's up? What's up, Atomics? How are you? Doing pretty good. We have pre-record. Yes, I have like one video currently being edited. It's gonna be a HOPLITE video on my second channel. I'm gonna test out this editor that that he's editing for the first time for me. So I'm gonna test him out and see how it goes. I'm gonna see how it goes. See if I like it. Okay. Your mom. Hi, Simply. Hi, Simply. Hi, Simply. Hi, Simply. Good morning, Simply. How are you? Simply, did you guys end up winning the tournament or nah? Also, I think I can just go down here. Wait, I need to find the keybind for Zoom, bro, because... Okay. There you go. What turn, Nate? Wipeout. MC Wipeout. MC Wipeout. I'm mining this diamond so no one gets it. Uh-oh. Did he not die down here, or did he already get... I'm guessing this guy picked up his loot, didn't he? Attack him! Oh, fuck. Alright, I'm gonna go right through him. This guy definitely watched the new Speed Sower video. I watched him, not gonna lie. Pretty good. Closed it yesterday, but finals... Oh. Wait, so how do I know if I qualled or not? Did I qual? Do you know if I qualled? Oh, you're Sad Blue Enderman. What's up, dude? What? I remember you. I just saw the new Balo video where he tortured you. Yeah. Yeah. Don't worry. I have something come for him. I have something come for him. All right, Sailor. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. How's everyone doing, by the way, chat? Everyone having a good morning? I don't know. Afternoon? I don't even know what time it is anymore at this point. I woke up last night at 11 p.m. and I told myself I was gonna flick some sleep schedule, so I'm streaming here. That's why. It's because also the time went like crazy. Like, didn't it like flip or something? Like, aren't we like 1 hour ahead of everyone or behind everyone? I forgot. How many wins you going for this time? I'm just gonna go for 3 hours. I don't know. If I get wins, I get wins. If I don't, I don't, you know? But I'm already lit to nether, so I mean, it's already a bad start already. Damn, okay, 2 years, okay. Oh, by the way, guys, I'm getting a YouTube rank on, or what's it called? The MCCI YouTube rank. Has a name for it though. I'm getting that creator. No, it's, what is it called on HOPLITE? I forgot the name of it. The name. Content creator rank. Is that all it is? Just content creator rank? Yeah, I'm getting that rank on MCCI, so I'm pretty hyped. You know, it's crazy that literally every server accepted me for YouTube rank, but Hypixel. Like, what? Shouldn't you expect Hypixel to accept everyone? It's crazy, isn't it? It's alright though. I mean, I don't really play Hypixel, to be honest with you. So, because this is the new server, this is the new Hypixel. I guarantee they're gonna reach more players than Hypixel soon. Soon TM. Soon TM. Okay, I just can't build a board. W. By the way, I might play with friends today. Dude, I also, by the way, I found a strat. And I don't want to do it on stream because no one knows about it yet. And I've been winning like every game that I do the strat in. So I ain't gonna do it. What the fuck is this guy doing? No. Demetrius, no. Yo, Bablu. Chat, Bablu's so. Oh my god. Meow, meow, meow. Back up, bruh. Back up, bruh. Please have work. Please have work. What text track is this? I'll be honest. A viewer linked it to me. Do expression on TP. And that's it. Great. Bro got all the ward. And it's probably gonna be strength 2. Did bro get all the wart? I think he probably did, didn't he? Why did... Yeah, we were just mad at it. Dude, I hate strength 2 rush, bruh. What's command to switch my stats to the new name? I forgot. Watch out. T-plate. Wait. Watch out for plant. Wait, who's plant? Wait, who's plant? Who's plant? Who's plant? Who's plant? I buy my Kit Kats instead of breaking them. Yeah, you deserve max jail time. Chat, y'all just hear this guy? What the fuck? What the? Bro, bites Kit Kat bar. Yeah, you deserve jail time. Wait, okay. Honestly, I might do it. I might do the strat that I was thinking about not doing on stream. And honestly, it works. But hopefully I get spawned in surface. Where the fuck is my portal? Oh, I already forgot my portal is at. GG's. That's it. It's wraps. It's wraps. Oh, Planet's on the server. Wait, Planet Lord? No, what Planet Lord's playing? Well, Planet Lords are pretty sure he's like an ex-UHC player. Pretty sure. I think so. It's a Clearwater. Yes, it's Clearwater. Chat, why do I have NPCs as friends? I have this guy named Boblu. Big NPC. No troll, chat. Actual NPC. Bro's never played UHC in his life. Alright. Okay. For real, Boblu's the biggest NPC? It's not even real. Who's his first game said Wardens was spawning? Oh. Okay. Nah, what the fuck? You just eat the... Ugh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yo, El Rata. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Hello. What's up, El Rata? Wait, your name means the rat in Spanish, in English. W. You see? I know Spanish. I'm not stupido. Just a little bit-o. I'm just a little stupid. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie, you know? There's no reason for me to lie. I would admit I am stupid. How did you get your plugins? What? Wait, on my YouTube, from my YouTube channel? My plugin maker does them. Yes, my plugin maker does. All my plugins are on Discord, actually. They are on Discord if anyone wants to use them. Oh, you have to be a Discord. You have to be a Discord member in order to use any of them. Yeah, that's the only way to get my Discord plugins. My my YouTube video plugins. Is no fog on the texture pack? No, I don't know actually. No. Okay, there's no fog on the texture pack, but it doesn't work in Nether. So yeah, like Venu. Wait, what about Venu? Wait, Venu's a Discord subscriber? No, she's not. Is she? I don't know if she is. Bro, I'm already late, bro. I have no sheep. I need sheep for this strat. Also, someone has pots, by the way, chat. I might need to get a pickaxe and get scythe. Might need to get that. Low-key, if I get 5 diamonds, sharp 3, iron, and I'll save 2 diamonds or 3 diamonds. Low-key. Because someone has strength 2 pots this game. And I'll be honest, strength 2 pots are kind of broken, and it's just an insta win if you have strength 2. Unless someone has a scythe. I thought those diamonds, bro. Chat, by the way, I am like half blind right now because I haven't slept. So if you guys see diamonds that I don't, please like yell at me, and please just like yell at me, if, like, you know, please. I don't know what I just redeemed. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it's broken. Just don't even redeem anything. I'll be honest. Just don't redeem it. You're just gonna get scammed. Then I'm just gonna not actually will refund you, but just don't redeem anything. Dude, one day that I don't play and people are already like above my stats, bro. Like, what in the world, bro? I'm blue. Yeah, sad Blenderman. You gotta do like fuck, what's the command to like transfer your stuff? I already forgot. It might just be transfer, and it transfer all your points. I don't know. Do not redeem it. What? Wait, what? Do not redeem what? Yeah, don't redeem any channel points because you're gonna get scammed, and I'm gonna be very sad because it's not gonna do a single thing. Yo, can I get some diamonds though? Also, hi Venu Sky. Hello Venu. Hello Venu. Wait, Venu's not even here. Why am I saying hello Venu? Any pat? Yeah, it's supposed to like pat my face cam, but I don't have a face cam. I mean, not yet. I mean, like, I haven't got. I mean, I have one, but I haven't set it up yet. You know? Okay. I thought I saw diamonds. Yeah, I know. It's the wallpaper. It's the wallpaper. I just filled that in with you. Like, nice. Okay, no diamonds there. Can I like do some? Are you fucking serious right now? Oh my. Cool sitting texture. I know, right? It's pretty cool, right? Also, how are you doing, Confettos? Wait, Confettos, are you this game? Are you the person that... No, I don't think you are. Maybe I'm tripping out. Dude, I need some diamonds, bro. I might just get full iron. I'm like, this is just a dead game. Like, GG's. I had to kill someone for like 3 diamonds. Was late to nether. Like, what am I doing? Do you still have merch? I do not know. No. Try. If it's not transferred, maybe. I forgot. Yo, chat. Anyone know the stream elements command to transfer from account to account? I forgot what it is. I'll be honest. You can make what of the cobwebs? Well, you're right. Low key. Should I just nether bomb? Should I be that guy that just nether bombs a nether? Wait, guys. Hold up. Hold up. I could just be that guy. Everyone's gonna hate me for this, though. Do I care? Absolutely not. Oh, that's a... Okay. Yeah, let's not mess around with that. Ads, you got ads, W ads. Let's fucking go. Okay. Oh my fucking god. Don't hit me, please. Don't hit me, please. Thank you. Okay, let me make iron sword. Can we make copper? Wait, copper here. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Wait, why do I have cobwebs already? What? Did I shear some? Maybe I did. I don't know. Chat, did I shear cobwebs? I don't even have shears in my inventory. How did I... Dude, I used to nether bomb back then. I'm gonna do it again. Ads sounds like I did. Ads just played, so I can't play anymore right now. Make shears? Oh, wait, hold on. You're actually cooking. You're actually cooking with that idea. Chat. Don't hate me, okay? That's all I gotta say. Just don't hate me for this. I'm gonna pull out some crazy cringe shit, but trust me, it's worth. I can make a short sword, right? Yes, I can. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, dude, I'm so cringe for this. I am so cringe for this, but hey, it's fine. Just give me another. Shoot the rest, it's fine. I have an idea. Let's see if it works. Oh my god. Okay. And then we'll put this here. Yo, Dizzy Dogs, thanks for the tier 1. Thank you, Dizzy.
Dizzy Dogs just subscribed.
Hi, Dizzy. Chat, we're gonna be cringe. Okay. So what we're gonna do in this situation is we're gonna go back to another fort in case someone comes in. No, no one's coming in. We are gonna be cringe, okay? Tell you HOPLITE, what's up, Paint Train? What's good? What's good, bro? What's good? What's good? What's good? Someone's mining. Okay. Is there not a name tag? There's no name tag. How you doing? Doing amazing. How are you doing, Dizzy? Long time no talk. How you been? How you been? I see someone. Wait. Okay. Yo. Bro's mad. Bro's surely mad. Yo. Bro had 2 heads on him? A sharp 1 diamond? Wait, 4 extra diamonds? Yo, bro's mad for sure, right? Wait, diamond boots too? Yo, bro was stacked. Thank you for the loot. We leave this. Actually, no, we don't. What the fuck? shit. Oh no. Please. No, dude. I got. All right, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. No way, dude. I got two. I got two. That's all that cares. Yeah, I didn't get another fast. I need to go faster. Dude, I got two though. I got two there. I am 2 for 2 for beds. Fuck, I got too greedy. I should have just left. I should have just left. I think I got the last guy too. Did I actually get the last guy too? No way. No way I got the last guy. Oh, screw notification. Okay. No talent. Wait, what? Yo, why is that the toxic? Okay, Rose is toxic for no reason. Okay. Deserved. Dude, it's fine. I gotta just. Okay, you know what? Let me slash up. Let me nickname as something. Check, give me a nickname. I think you did. Suicide Bomb or something? Did he die? Let me check. Can I slash rejoin? What was the guy's name? I think he died. Oh, I'm expecting Izuf. Oh, I did get him. I got him. Oh, Suicide Bomb. I got him. Wait, I didn't realize that. Let's go. I got 3 kills. Wait, I got 2 kills there. What? Eh. Wait, I got 3 kills there, chat. I got 3 kills. What can I change my name to? Maybe Taco Bell lover. I don't really like Taco Bell though. Maybe El Toxico. No, it's taken already. Fortnite. Yo, no, not bad. Boba Buddy. Yo, actual good name. Wait, Steve's taken. It's taken already. God damn it. I can't take Steve. Steve has already been taken. Bablu is NPC. Okay. Oh my god. Wait, it's actually a good skin. Wait, is actually fire skin? Wait, is there anyone on? Wait, I have to change that to 0-1 now, bro. Ew, bro. It sucks. Okay, I gotta get a win now. Of course, the pack. I mean, Float is just playing. What do you? I'd have never guessed it. Toxico's taken. Yeah, Toxico's taken. Toxico is indeed taken. Ow! Do I just hit my finger on something? Oh my god, bro. I'm low-key ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Yo, why is my? It's fine. We're good. Yo, Mofa. What's up, Mofa? Wait, chat. Is my title change or no? Also, hi, Night Rider. Hello. What's up, Septical? What's up, bro? Wait, Trash Boat. I think it might be taken. I think. Bum, 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 bum. Also, by the way, yo, new playlist, by the way. It's not out yet. I'm still adding songs to it. I can't name yourself Earth Jaguar. It's probably taken already. All right, Night Rider. Hold on, I'll be right back. There you go. Close that out. Oh, I have a. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I was doing that. I gotta close that out. I didn't. I don't play on HOPLITE. It's HOPLITE. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. All right, let me. Damn. Yeah, I've been streaming like at a crazy time for myself. I'm used to like the 9 a.m. streams, not this late night streams, but it's fine. I'm not used to this late of night of streams. What is Top Life? Been seeing it everywhere. It's basically a battle royale server. It's a Speed Service battle royale server. Wait, I see Charlie. Shh. Yeah. Wait, come on, Charlie. Charlie, come here. No, he's muted. No. Charlie's muted. Okay, let's get this win. Okay. I'm just gonna get down and just get wood and get down. Just get wood and get down. But I gotta just like ignore structures and just look for iron first. There's no iron there. That's iron right there. Okay, cool. Oh, I'm landing straight on iron right now. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Hi, Queen. How are Queen? Queen. Hi, Queen. Hi, Queen. Hi, Queen. Hi, Queen. Hi, 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 hi. What's up, Queen? How are you? Hi, Queen. Oh my god, my mouse just bugged out. Okay, we get 3 wood and we get down. Okay. Bam. Make the smelter's pickaxe. Bam. 1, 2. That's not enough. It's fine though, because I already have a smelter's pickaxe. All I need is now is a cave that goes down, not that goes back up to surface. That's something I do not need. I went through entire Discord server. I can't message any of your plugins. Yeah. It's because you have to be a Discord member or whatever it's called. That's like so I can keep my stuff monetized, you know? Instead of having like a Patreon like Yellow or any of my friends have it, I just have a Discord membership. It's like easier to do. It's like I don't want to go through Patreon and have Patreon do things, you know? I just made my Discord have it. Yeah, the only reason why they're not free because I see diamonds is because I pay my own money for it, my own plugins. So, you know, yeah. All right, no worries. Yeah, no problem, man. Maybe, actually, oh, you know what? No, he cannot be taking my diamonds. I'd rather mine these diamonds than this guy to mine them. I'll be honest. Oh, a little 5 vein. Wait a second. Okay, this is huge. I can make dragon katana if I hurry up and go another. When's the last time? Okay. Working on our party for squid. Don't worry, don't worry. You got this. You got this, Queen. Lock in. Yo, Queen, lock the fuck in, Queen. Lock in, lock in, lock in. Focus up and lock in. You got this. Can I get a water bucket, please? Is there water over here? I hope there is. If not, I'm just wasting a lot of time right now. I ain't gonna lie. There's not water over here. I wanna cry. Chat, is there always water in these? But I spoke too soon. Okay. Lapis. Any damage here? Nope. 12-minute, 3-minute. 3-minute entry is not too shabby. Okay, bam, 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 and bam. Bam, bam. Okay, there we go. What's up, Curve? Thank you. Yeah, I am back. Oh, it's Fortress again. Loki might just dip from that fort. Actually, no, I need that blaze rod. Hold up. And someone already got it. Fuck. Some probably already got pots too. This is what I mean, chat. First person to get pots just wins. It's annoying. Does anyone know when the next patch notes are coming out? I'd assume soon, right? It's Halloween's over now. Better bomb again? No. I was trapped this time. No. Oh my god. Brother, can we not, please? Don't mind. Okay. No, don't mind this. Okay, good. I see one and I'll get out of here. One, I'm breaking it. Sorry, little bro. Okay. Now we go chunk mining. Yes. Okay. You need to have fish. It's right. Watch this. Now we just don't give a fuck about that anymore. I don't think they nerfed it yet. Hope not. Bum, 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 bum. Hi, Chan. Hi, Chan. Hey, Chan. All right, Chan. Gotta do flourish. I just mined 3 stacks of iron. What? Will prot 2? Wait, no, he does that. What the fuck? Surely bro gets tired. No? Okay. Then we just mine a chunk, right? All we're looking for is 1 netherite scrap. 1 netherite scrap, chat. Don't break, don't break, don't break, don't break. Fuck. It's fine. Do you know what Aries back? No, what is that? Yeah, it's like, well, you probably shouldn't do that if it's like, you know, you probably shouldn't do that. It's a hack, you know what I mean? It's like, not a hack, it's like a glitch. It's like glitch abusing, and you'll probably get banned for that. Low key. Bet queen, bet. Please give me 1 quartz, 1 netherite ingot, please. Wait, is this not? Oh, that's not the chunk board. I'm an idiot. This is. You know how long it took me last time to find 1 netherite scrap? A long time. Please, let me just find 1. But did he actually? Well, probably it probably got patched already, you know? Well, like it's probably gonna get patched soon, so probably don't do it for the best. How I get a mine? I have 3 diamonds. I'll make a pickaxe. Because fuck enchants, I can just kill for enchants with this sword. Yeah, I saw Minitech. Bro, I fucking love Minitech. Brian. I love Minitech, chat. Yo, by the way, yo, anyone watching that new Marvel movie coming up soon? What's it called? Like, the Marvels? I got no idea what it's gonna be about, and I hope it's canon. Or, oh yeah, I think it's right. Canon, yeah, yeah. I think it is though. Surely I find netherite, right? Like at least 1 little scrap. Please? Wouldn't looting bastions be faster? Yeah, but there's no bastions here. There's no bastions. Like there's bastions, but I wasn't lucky, you know? Yeah, surely I find netherite, right? Surely. Surely it's like right here. Come on. Let me find 1 piece, please. Come on. How am I so unlucky? Come on, please. Let me find it, please. I've been a nice person this whole year. Wait, I can kick a drill. My iron pickaxe is about to break too, bruh. Yeah, I don't know, chat. Might have to go back and might have to go back. Might have to go back and get another stone pickaxe and get a. Wait, did I just find it? Oh, am I dumb? I'm dumb. I'm seeing things. Chat, how do I find it easier? Hi, Joker. No, we're not doing it. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Nope. I'm not doing that. How are you doing that? I went miner kit and you get haste 2 when you, or haste 2 with your pickaxe. So yeah, that's how. No, Joker. Who do you think you're messing around with, Joker? Oh, wait. Come on, bro. Bro, I swear I'm like the unluckiest person, man. I can never find what I need. Am I just too needy? Like, do I ask for too much? Surely not, right, chat? Surely I'm just a nice person that never asks for anything? Bro, like, what? No way. Maybe I could go surface and get bed bombs and just go bed bomb mining. I just scared. I just a one light stop. Literally. What? Well, I'm on level 15. I hope I'm mining at the Y level. Right, Y level. Okay. Not there. Okay. Did you have no fog to see through lava? Because you can just go swim. No, you can't do that. It's not allowed. That's bannable, bro. Literally bannable. I have an idea, though. Look at this. Watch. I have an idea. Well, first things first, I gotta do this. Oh, my. Do this. Might need to get a... Yeah, I do. We'll just do this for the meantime. Watch this, chat. I call this like crazy plays. Okay. And then get something real quick. What's up, Zen? How are you, Zen? Bannable? Yeah, it's... I have an idea. Yo, Rapids, what's up, dude? What is up, bro? What is up? Oh, dude, guys, I've been playing the new Fortnite update. Oh my god, it brings back so much memories. So much memories. Okay. Okay, I can still do it. Oh, okay. Well, I made this morning. I woke up at 11 last night because I couldn't go back to. I couldn't sleep. I was making my thumbnail, upload a video, and then yeah, I've just been up ever since. I was in a bobble recording. Pretty cool. Pretty cool and successful day today. I know this video was like everywhere. I know. But I liked it because it's like new people, you know, new friends. Okay. As long as I do this before PvP. Why are these sheep having the intercourse? Please stop. Did you guys like it? Did you all like the video? New friends and people. Okay. Tyrant Gary, bro was dude. Chat. If okay. I'll give anyone a Twitch sub if you go back into the video and count how many times Tyrant spoke. I'll give you that right now. Wait, what? If someone goes back to the video and counts how many times Tyrant spoke, I'll give you guys a sub to my channel. Okay. So apparently I can just do this with 3G. And I can just set up right here. Perfect. You see? Am I cheating? Am I cheating, chat? Am I cheating? Chunk borders does nothing. It's a myth, bruh. No way you're telling me that right now. Okay. Nope. I got light to my whole fucking life. GG's. Like, nice. Hi, by the way, Star, how are you, Star? Yeah, it is Bob Blue. I gotta get the fuck out of here, though. I just got everything I needed. All right. I gotta get full iron. I gotta get everything. This isn't good. This isn't good. Okay. A 3G. Okay. I just gotta get a gunpowder. That's it. A GP. All I need is a GP and I have the katana. Uh-oh. There's a skeleton here. Anything, though, that I need I can get? Iron right there. There's a fucking guy on me right now. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Yo, Sentries, what's up? Yeah, what's max distance with... Okay. Well, these guys are fighting on here. Hold on, chat. Everyone clear comms. I got this. Uh-oh. Oh. Chat, I'm naked, but I got this. Watch. Oh, fuck. They're fighting. Wait, is bro cheating? Wait, bro might be cheating. Bro's on 50. I'm scared. Suddenly, I'm scared. Oh, bro's a bow. Bro's not gonna hit shots. Okay, well, I am gonna go get full armor for myself. Okay, yeah, I have a katana. I don't want to throw this. Went HOPLITE with the armor challenge. Should I do the challenge? Yo, no, there's already a no, I can't. I can't do that. I gotta go down. Yo, it low key looked like that guy was cheating, but I ain't gonna call it out. I ain't gonna lie. That guy might be cheating. It might be a nickname. Hold on, chat. Hold on. I can't really read a message right now, but give me a sec. Dude, no ways in my cave, right? Can I please get a gunpowder? No way. What do you... Do I have to look at how many times Tyrant spoke? The last video. That makes me... Now I know that you did not watch the video. Okay. Bro's a supply drop? Literally, I am a supply drop, Zenko. Sai, we're good. We're chilling. Dude, can I please get a creeper? Oh, fuck, that scared the fuck out of me. Oh my god. Okay. I haven't been on YouTube all week. All good. I uploaded today. Okay. Please. I just want to get one creeper, please. One creeper, this might be winnable. Oh my god, please don't get the gunpowder here. Well, I was here earlier. Surely you didn't get all the gunpowder, right? Mother f... I see one gunpowder. 1 GP in this game might be winnable. No troll. Or do I just go up chat? Do I go up chat and try to find... Why am I taking damage like that? What? This game is literally just dead for me. I need 1 GP. Chat, how do I get 1 GP? Like, ASAP. Damn. What, Zenko? What? Check structures? Sure. I'm literally a Saki right now. I'm a Saki just holding katana for someone. Like, all I need is 1 gunpowder. Wait, yeah, all I need is 1 gunpowder, right? To make a jeep, to make a fire charge? Yeah, okay. I'm just not gonna find one though. I'm literally like half health, no HP, like it's just rafts. 18 players left, like. Okay. If there's 1 GP in there, I don't know what I'll do. I'll go another in mine gold. Nah, there's just no way there's 1 GP in here though. No, a long time. No way there's 1 GP in here. Okay. Actually, no, but there's fucking gold here. And there's... Okay. RNG carried is real. Wait, what? What? Wait, did they loot everything but... Okay. Bro, I'm not gonna find 1 GP. And this is where I was... Yep, this is where I bought the portal earlier. The sunset... Just a casual... Okay, some coordinates in chat. I've got a better idea. Hold on. I got a better idea. Spawn test... Yeah, no. No, you can't do that, Biz. Don't do that, Biz. Don't do that. I don't want to get banned, bro. That's teaming. That's teaming. That's teaming. Don't do that. Don't do that. Shatter's still alive. No. No. Shatter, please. Shatter might win. Lag? Okay. Okay. 130 times? Cap, bruh. No, we guys actually counted, by the way. What? All right. 3, 2, 1, dead. Bed bomb. No bed bomb. All right, let's go to 0-0 with this. Ow. Can I somehow... Wait, do I have enchant? No, I don't have enchants. Freaking flower. Please, just 1 GP. 1 gunpowder, please. Oh my god, is he somewhere here? Uh-oh. Yellow? Oh, no, no, no.
I'm blind. Fight me. I'm literally blind, almost legally. Get over here.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, Chief. I don't know about that one.
Get back here, and you have a good mic. Do you stream? What the fuck is that?
No.
That or you have a really good voice. Compliments to you.
No. I gotta go. I'm
No.
sorry. I gotta go. Gotta go. Gotta go. Gotta go. Gotta go. Gotta go. Oh, don't bow me. Don't bow me. Don't bow me. That's enough. That's enough bowing. That's enough bowing.
That's all my arrows.
Chat, we're going another bed bomb him. No.
Oh fuck, I almost lost you.
Oh no. Oh no.
Get back here. Get back here.
I just need a blaze rod. I gotta go back. I'm sorry, but I need a blaze rod. Oh, you're in a hunger. Please, I just need a blaze rod. Please, I hope no one broke the spawner. Please. Oh shit. I just need the spawner. I'm sorry. No, please.
That's not what's gonna happen. Oh.
God. Please. Surely. Surely, right? Come on. Come on. Please. 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 Chat, it's not looking good. I don't think he's coming inside. I'll check later. I'll check later. I'll check later. No way he knows. I got this. Come on. We gotta act like NPC. Come on. Should we just beat him, right? Come on. Dude, there's no way he knows. There's no way he knew. He knew. Right? Chat, I'm waiting for my dad to come back home. He's coming. Surely. Come on. Come on. Wait. I'm just gonna go. Alright, just leaving this portal yet. I'm leaving the portal. Okay, nice. That bro was stream sniping, but he's not. Okay. Wait. Might be a fire idea if I go to a 0-0 portal. Hold on. No. Okay, well now he's at 0-0. Fuck, chat. What do I do here? Bro, actually went to 0-0. Yeah. Chad, did he actually go? Fuck it, Chad, I'm going in. No. No, please. GP. Please hit GP. Fuck. A GP? Please have GP. Please have GP. Uh-oh. No, 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 no. Oh no. No. Bro, no way, bro knew. Come on. No way. Oh, fuck. I'm just dead. I'm just dead. No sequel start, I know. What are the chances Charlie comes in here? I didn't get a G. Bro, I got no GP from that, bruh. I'm just gonna fight Charlie. Unmute. 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 Unmute, Charlie. I just died to Charlie. No. Oh my god, bro. Dude, I can't get the damn gunpowder, bro. Nah, I'm being serious right now, by the way. Every time I stream, everything bad happens. Everything that I don't want to happen happens. I don't know how that happens. I just don't know. No, I want to shout it on mute. I wanted to talk to him. Maybe we can have a little deal, you know, little trade going on. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yo, I'm not tired. Low-key might just stream in the morning. Yo, Webby, thanks for follow. Appreciate it. I low-key just might stream in the morning, chat. I'm fucking tired. I actually might just pass out right now. Yeah. Yo, guys, I'm gonna go and sleep. Thank you guys for watching this great, crazy, quick stream. I'm like super tired. I'm gonna go sleep. I'm gonna go sleep. I'm gonna go sleep. I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna go sleep. I'm gonna sleep. Okay. All right. See you guys later. I'm falling asleep. I'm falling asleep in my chair. I'm not gonna lie. Thank you for watching the stream. I'm gonna go. Okay. Bye. 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 Yeah. I will stream tomorrow a long time. Okay. Bye. 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 7.